Maybe you have to choose the one that. Okay, let me set you up now.
Yeah, if you sit here for a few hours, I'm definitely sure that's gonna be hot.
There you go.
It's gonna be hot.
Thanks, sir.
It's hot up here.
Welcome to the first couple viewers pouring in right now. We are here for the September installment of the SpeedQB Los Angeles season. I'm El Sapo reporting live. Another sunny day in California, but just not any other sunny day. It's another SpeedQB Sunday. Special guest in the house. We got Bert Frecken from SpeedQB EU. So to all of our European viewers, El Patron is in the house.
El Patron.
First team. And we are waiting for the first matches to start between Bad Batch and 1S1K. What's going on, guys? I know there are a few of you that are waiting for the stream to start. Thank you for waiting patiently. We're here live in El Monte, California at Project N1 for the September installment of the SpeedQB Los Angeles season. Seems like it was just yesterday when I was here for the season opening, and here we are, just one more event away from our national championship. In November, we have one more event on October 27th. And then the national championships will be on November 3rd. So for those of you who've been following the rankings, things are real tight here. A lot of teams tied up for the first, second, and third place seedings. And as usual, I'll be doing live commentary, talking to the viewers. So those of you who are not informed about the rankings, currently, LTD1 is the #1 seed. SOAS and Union are tied for second. LTD1, Murder Inc., and SYG tied for third. These rankings are on the SpeedQB Instagram page if you want to reference them. We got 1S1K over here on the left side and Bad Batch over here on the right, playing with only 3 men. Let's see how this unfolds. Those of you who are just joining us, thank you for waiting patiently. We got off to a little bit of a slow start, but CQB Junkie says hi. What's up, Dimi?
Dimi.
Yeah. One S1K, it's a very well-seasoned team. They've had a little bit of a struggle this season. They're in a bit of a rebuilding process, so it's good to see them out here with a full squad. Bad Batch, one of the newer teams in the scene. And that's the beauty of the sport, you know, you have teams that have been around the block, you know, they have to overcome their struggles in terms of organization, team management. So there's a lot more to this than just getting together and playing Airsoft, you know, this is a real sport. It requires real management, and a lot of times a lack of that really shows. So looks like Bad Batch has their full 5.
Eric, you're streaming, right?
Yes, I am.
Good to go? Cool.
Yep, let's do it. Let me stand up here so you give you guys a better overall view of the field.
All right, first round's gonna be Bad Batch versus 1S1K. They're also the wall referees. Gonna be a thumbs up when you guys are ready.
The referees are on the perimeter,
All right, it's gonna be round 1.
ensuring everybody's calling their hits off the break.
Good luck to you all.
Let's see how 1S1K breaks out. 1S1K with 2 guns up, getting 2 of their front guys in position. You know, predominantly 1S1K has been a pistol dominant team, but Looks like they're mixing up their tactics, running some rifle players. Bad Batch has one player in the snake here in position. It's always interesting to see how teams start off playing in the, in the first couple sets. A lot of these times, communication doesn't always happen immediately. Some of these teams got to warm up, get their lungs going. It's interesting to see. No one is really playing the snake, playing the flag. We've seen that happen this season in LA, where the primary focus has been on team elimination first. Very few teams are meeting up in the center and contesting the flag. And I know a few events ago, people were wondering why that happened. You need to understand that these teams have been playing this game for a while, and the tactics are a little bit different. Like 1S1K has 3 live players. Bad Batch, there's 1 player left. Let's see how 1S1K closes this off. 1S1K with what looks to be 4 live members. Well played by 1S1K. And the point goes to 1S1K.
All right, 1S1K takes round 1, go to suicide.
Feel free to get in the comments, show support for your favorite team, favorite players.
Players, just a reminder, put those marking bands on either the back of your rig, your chest rig, or on the back of your mount. All right, it's gonna be round
Live
2.
chat is live right now. Was not on earlier, so go ahead and get in the comments, guys. SYG is playing a few games later in the staging area right now, loading up.
Sorry, the other way, Frank.
Got Bad Batch on the left side,
All right, round 2 is
1S1K on the right. Bad Batch hitting the snake off the break. Playing a little bit conservatively this time, putting 2 players in the back middle, 1 in each stand-up, 1 player in the snake. Bad Batch is kind of rolling out with the same conservative setup. 1S1K, 1 player creeping in the snake, getting in position. I know I say this a lot, but a lot of players need to exhibit a little bit more patience when they get to the end of the snake right here. If you expose yourself a little too much, you're kind of giving too much away. And that's the importance of using teamwork when you have a player in the snake. If the snake player is by himself without any proper support, a lot of times what they'll do is they just kind of play on their own. And as a result, that leads to careless mistakes. Hopefully the teams can watch this live stream later and review and see where they made those mistakes. 1S1K sticking to their game plan. It's very important, even though you win the first round, not to get sloppy in the second round. You can't take it for granted. Yes, we will be in DreamHack in October. SYG will be playing in exhibition matches. So it looks like Friday there'll be exhibition matches. Saturday will be the European tournament, followed by finals on Sunday, and then there'll be time for exhibition matches as well. So SYG will be there with a squad of 6, including myself, a few of the OG members as well. So we're rolling deep, and we'll see you guys there.
It's a date with Jordy. And he will wear whatever you want him to wear.
So we have LTD1 here versus Baptive.
Barrels to the wall. Referee's thumbs up when you're ready. Round 1 is live on the horn.
Baptive losing one player off the break. LTD, Figgy in the snake, looks like Matt Miyashiro in the back corner. Soto in the back center. I like seeing that they're playing the Twin Towers or the mountain there. Not a lot of teams have been playing that spot. Trying to open up things a little bit, get those views at a little bit of an angle as an entrance for the teams to play. So it looks like people are actually starting to play that side of the field. Good communication going on between Matt Miyashiro and Figgy, pushing Figgy forward into the 50, the snake. Figgy being very careful to cover all the angles. It's not always about closing things out fast, you know? When you have a numbers advantage like that and you kind of have a feeling you took everybody out, it doesn't mean you should get sloppy and start running around and getting crazy, you know? He's still very mindful that there could be somebody hiding in the corners. He's checking his corners, make sure everything is clear for his team to move up. Let's see how Captive bounces back from that, changes up their strategy.
All right, fellas, get to the wall.
You'd expect to see a little bit more of a defensive play, but Captive has been known to throw surprises at people, so I wouldn't be surprised if they hit the 50 hard on this one. Definitely looks like one of the Captive members is set to get into this. Great communication between the LTD front player and the back player. We got Figgy up here in the snake. Matt Miyashiro in the back corner again. Great communication between these two. It's interesting to see because, you know, at one point LTD was so dominant during the SpeedQB Sundays leading up to tournaments. And a lot of the younger teams have been playing against more seasoned teams such as LTD for such a long time that you're starting to see some things shift over in that teams are leveling up and you're seeing that the gap is being bridged between the experience, meaning LTD is actually losing some games now and a lot of the teams are catching up, playing on the same level. I think Captive can use a little bit better, not just communication, but making use of that communication. It's one thing to hear something, it's another to hear it and then execute based on that information. I like what I'm seeing here from this Captive player. He's got his eyes on a swivel, not getting tunnel vision. He's aware of the player at the mountains. LTD looks like they have two live players. Soto moving to the back middle to secure a defensive position, while sacrificing the ability to help his snake player out though. So in gaining better position for himself, he kind of, you know, sacrificed a little bit of communication because right now he's unable to see his player. I'm sure he has somewhat of a sixth sense. He's still aware of where everybody is. But especially when he's moving up this close and it creates more distance between the back and the front player, the communication can possibly break down. It looks like time ran out. Captive with one sole player left, LTD with two, so it looks like LTD took that on points.
1 on 2. LTD takes round 2 with 2 players to 1 on Baptive. So LTD takes round 2 and the set. So we're going to move on to the next
So
team.
LTD winning round 1 and 2 and taking that match.
Take the field now.
Great games played by both teams. So we got Murder Inc. here versus Legacy.
All right, it's going to be round 1 of Legacy versus Red Rum.
My correction, it's not Murder Inc., it's Red Rum. It's a lot easier than it looks out here. You know, like I said, the LA players have been playing
Round 1 is
this game for like this is the 4th season, technically. And what basically happens is they forfeit playing the flag because they don't really want to risk a body for those 25 points. Sometimes the habit now of these teams is to eliminate all the teams first and then safely go for that flag rather than to risk it. So a lot of these teams are laning pretty hard at that center X. We do see one player moving into the X here slowly. So by contrast, like a lot of teams have been sneaking into the X as opposed to rushing into the X. A lot of gunfire right now. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Great job by the Snake player calling for some communication, calling for information so that he doesn't have to take a peek over. This is Red Rum versus Legacy. Player in the X got a little bit antsy. You know, if I were him, I probably would have laid low, played it cool a little bit. If you're there and you're not going for the flag, there really is no point in exposing yourself because in not grabbing the flag, what they're trying to do is they're not trying to show and give away their position. So kind of playing out of your barrier, out of the cover, kind of doesn't have any return. You know, there's no reward for that. So if I were that player, I would have played it cool a little bit, stayed calm, wait for their team to drop a few bodies, and then maybe grab the flag, run it back, hold a defensive position. Hey, what's up, Ren? See you next week, bro. It looks like Legacy is kind of always one step ahead of Red Rum here. Red Rum might be having problems adjusting every time they lose a player. Like they haven't been making any adjustments. These players have been playing in the same spots despite losing some of their players. True, they are close together, able to communicate.
All right, that's the end of 3 minutes.
So they were able to hold an advancing Legacy team, but Legacy was up on numbers and took that round. Oh my God. They're not. You can check the SpeedQB Instagram for the scheduling of our events. They're not every Sunday. It's one Sunday a month leading up to the tournament in November. So this is the second to last event before the national tournament in November. We have one more event in LA, October 27th. Nice shot. Back left player is aware that someone in the snake. Just communicates to his back middle player that snake's hot. Finally get to see someone in that mountain. So Red Rum having two players on the 50. They clearly have the advantage here. Looks like they are stacked in the snake.
We have a penalty, no call. It's going to be Red Rum, colors blue.
We have a penalty called on Red Rum for no call. Oh, they forfeited that point. Legacy takes that round based on penalties.
And SYG, go and take the field.
We got SYG and a few prospects coming onto the field. The national tournament in the United States in Los Angeles will be on November 3rd. Again, we will be in Rotterdam, Netherlands next month for the DreamHack event at the Rotterdam Ahoy Convention Center.
Referees, give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready. Round one is live on the
And SYG versus Mercs. Both teams losing one player within 30 seconds of the game. Very active communication from both teams. I'm actually having a hard time hearing myself how loud it is right now. Here we got Phantom locking down that lane. Rooster bumping up into the U on the 50. On the 40. Nice move by Merc player, getting into position in the snake. A little bit of a sloppy move on Rooster's part. Perfect timing. The Merc player in the snake just took a look at the right time as Rooster was moving up, cutting him down while he was trying to move up to the mountains. mercenary snake player causing a lot of trouble right now for the defense of SYG. And at this point, you know, you can basically say that it's almost a numbers game. You know, we have what looks like and sounds like 3 mercenary players versus 3 SYG players. So tight game right now. Emo getting eliminated from his spot. Nice shot by Phantom there to clear it out. Great defense. Not getting too antsy, not showing too much of his body, not giving his opponent a target to shoot at. Looks like it's a one-on-one situation right now. One mercenary player behind this barrier right here. And Phantom in the back corner. It's possible that we might see time wind down. Rounds are 3 minutes. If I were Phantom right now, I'd probably, what I would have done if I had more time, is move out of that back corner because, you know, everybody knows he's there. He's been playing there the whole time. No one got the flag, so that looks like it might have been a draw. Well played by Mercenaries. Good defense on both sides. Great communication.
Round 2 of Mercs versus SYG. Gonna make your way to your wall.
Hey, no worries, Virus. We know how it is. Sometimes, you know, things get busy. It's hard to get your team together sometimes, but it's all good. You guys are in a good spot.
Tell Kevin he owes me hot pot.
And SOAS says you owe him hot pot. What's up, Daniel?
Thumbs up when your team is ready.
Let's see how SYG breaks out to possibly change their strategy. They might play more of an aggressive. I guess not. Very defensive setup from SYG. One mercenary player in the snake. Five-4 SYG advantage. Marty bumping up into the U. We got Rooster here in the back stand-up. DJ on the SpeedQB banner stand-up. Marty bumping up into the mountain. This is a game of angles, people. It's a game about position, you know? This is actually Mercenaries' very first SpeedQB experience. Their first time out here on the SpeedQB field. So far they're doing really well against a very seasoned team. Nice move up the field by Marty. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. He dry fire?
All right, we have a penalty, no call. It's gonna be Mercs.
As you guys saw back home,
Mercs purple, penalty, no call.
we had a penalty on the mercenary side. And SYG round 2 and takes the match.
Wait, what did that purple one drop? Purple.
Yeah, we were right here. We saw it all happen, so I was a little confused. You know, sometimes though, you guys got to be aware back home when you're watching. There's certain things that you can't see from where we're at. I can't even see them sometimes. Sometimes players dry fire as they move the field, so that's why it's so great to have these refs out here to make these calls. You know, they have eyes where others don't, and they're able to make those decisions and make the right choice to ensure fair gameplay. Who is the mysterious Milson man on Captive?
All right, this match is going to be AARP.
There he is again.
Versus Captive.
This gimbal, man. Holy shit.
AARP, right?
We have AARP versus Captive.
I don't know actually.
What is going on with this thing?
He drawn the first round.
All right, guys, barrels to the wall. Referee's thumbs up when you are ready. It's gonna be round one. AARP versus SpeedQB. I'm sorry, AARP versus Captive.
AARP versus Captive. We got Captive on the right, AARP on the left. Interesting story about AARP is that I talked to one of the OG members of it. They're a little bit upwards in age, but they're out here showing that even the old dogs can get down. I think they picked up a couple of younger players, a lot of fresh feet to fill their roster. And we all know about Captive. They've been around the block for ever since the original events we had at the Irwindale location back in around 2014. And the amazing thing is that their roster has remained relatively unchanged. They're a family team. A lot of them are all related, brothers, cousins, uncles. So it's great to see a family out here playing as a team and keeping it together. Yeah, props to you guys at TCJ. I encourage you guys to get your shit together, man. Like, practice as a team, play the events, come out for a SpeedQB Sunday. The more teams are playing this sport, the better it is for the culture. We're growing this sport actively, out here in LA, other states in the United States, Georgia, South Carolina, Ohio, and we have a lot of people knocking on our door interested in holding these events. We got Bird here from SpeedQB EU. The scene in Europe is growing rapidly, and like everybody knows, we're going to be at DreamHack next month in Europe, in the Netherlands and Rotterdam. It's the first time where Airsoft is going to be, it's going to be a hybridization, connecting the gaming culture with our culture, and there's a lot of parallels there, and it's very exciting to see those two things come together. Because essentially what we're doing is we're all playing a combat sport, we're all playing a shooting sport. Some people are doing it from, a monitor behind a TV. Some of us are doing it in real life, and it'd be great to see a lot of crossover. We have a lot of SpeedQB players playing the Modern Warfare beta this weekend. Like I'm sure you see on a lot of our Instagram accounts. Everybody in this culture is playing video games. I think it'd be exciting to see a lot of the video gamers, whether it's be the esports teams, try this out to see if they can do it in real life. And I know there's a lot of esports teams right now with a lot of athletic guys. I think it'd be interesting to see them, play together.
Take it off.
Sorry, I went on a little rant there, and I wasn't calling the score. Who won that first round? Captive took that. AARP took that first round. We got CQB rushing in the house.
All right, so round two.
Look at this. SYG Rome.
Round is live on the horn.
And Sosa. Yeah, man. I would like to see events out in San Diego as well. I know that up north at CQB City they've been running similar style games. I got some homies that have connects at Pendleton, so who knows? Shout out to my my OG Thug Life paintball team. We got a couple guys out there that are well connected, so all we gotta do is link up. Like I would love to get out to San Diego. Love to bring the team out there. Even to play paintball, that'd be great. Like SYG has played paintball in the past, just to cross train, and I would love to do that again. So any paintball teams down in SD want to get down with SYG in a paintball match, we're down for it. Let us know. Yo, I'd love to get out to Nashville too. Seems like an exciting town. What's that? Huh?
I almost made it to Nashville.
Oh yeah, Sosa almost made it to Nashville. Yeah, and wow, what the fuck? Speaking of Texas and Dallas specifically, I do know that there's a DreamHack event in Dallas sometime in 2020. There's going to be a DreamHack event in Anaheim, California at the Anaheim Convention Center, I believe in February. So we'll see how Rotterdam goes, you know? Who knows? We might have events at the DreamHack events in the United States too, but we'll play it by ear and see how that goes. Belgian waffle in the house. But shout out to all my European homies. I'm thirsty right now up here. Can't wait to get to the Netherlands and have a drink with you guys. Lots of drinks with you guys. My liver is ready. Shout out to the 58 viewers watching at home or on your phones. This is Sapo from the almighty All Black S Gang, coming to you live from El Monte, California. Project N1, SpeedQB's September Los Angeles event.
All right, game is live.
AR Revolution versus Official. Official in the black and white, or white and black.
1 versus 5.
And one versus 5. Let's see how this goes. All day, all day. If he can pull this off, man. Come on, man. Here's the thing, guys. If you sign up, man, you gotta come ready to play. Your team's gotta be ready, because this does not make your team look good. Doesn't make the other team look good either. Gotta get your shit together. Like I said, you know, it's not just about coming out to play. Team management is a big part of this team. If you're not on schedule, your mags are not loaded, you have gun issues and you don't have someone to take care of it, guess what? You're gonna be playing a few men short. You're gonna drop a game for no reason. AR Revolution now playing with
3, 4, 5. They got 2 more. They got 5 now.
Yeah, now they're playing with a full 5, so let's see what they can do if they can bounce back from that.
They got
You know, a lot of times this game is also not just physical, you know, it's a mental thing. You know, you lose the first round sometimes, you can get frustrated, you know. There needs to be someone on your roster in that circle that can calm everybody down, get them situated, you know, bring things together within the chaos and to ensure the success of your team, you know. I've been there before, I know what it's like, so that's why I can say, you know, you need someone there, you know, that's level-headed, that can stay calm, get the team focused,
All right, it's gonna be round
devise a
2.
strategy to win and bounce back from a loss.
Team official, you gotta move over. You're gonna scoot in a little bit more towards the black box. There it is. Barrel to the wall. Round 2 is live on the horn.
Fairly aggressive breakout from AR Revolution. I don't like how that player is just popping up over the top. Nice move up to the 50. Unfortunately, he lost his back player in the process, so he's all by himself. Unless he communicates with his team, that could fall apart from him really fast. Good job on AR Revolution's part to fill that bunker in the back to provide support for his player in the mountain, the Twin Peaks. What's up, Legion? Looks like there might have been a penalty.
We have a penalty, late call on Official.
Late call on Official.
He has no ban. Give me 1 second.
So they forfeit that round based on penalties. AR Revolution takes that round.
At all? Well, blue. So we're going to round 3, switch sides, switch sides.
Yeah, man, I'd love to get out to Florida, but it sounds like you guys have a problem there with the field owners not really getting down with you guys. But you know what? I can understand how that can be frustrating. I have had a communication with a lot of the players out in Florida. I understand the situation. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you got to fight for what you want. And
Round is live on the board.
you know, to tell you guys a story, and I know that there's a few of you in Miami here. Let me put it this way. If you and a bunch of other teams really want to play, it boils down to organization. You know, when SYG started, you know, we ran into a lot of teams that wanted to play a fast, aggressive style too. So what we did was we organized with that team, we talked to the field owner, and all we did was we just rented time. You know, I know it's not cheap. Sometimes, you know, if you rent out some field space, they can only say no, right? I mean, like, but if they see there's an interest, if you guys are paying for the time, that's really what matters. You know, and then hopefully the field owners will see the value in that, you know, they'll want the teams to play at their field, you know, but at the same time, you have to understand their side, you know. We've been fighting against the negative aspects of quote-unquote speed stuff for a very long time, and players and teams need to take responsibility for their actions, you know, and show that, you know, this is a sport. You know, we're not out here messing around. We're not here to cause trouble, you know. So all you teams that really want to do this, like, I know, I'm not saying that things are wild. I'm not saying that things are out of hand, but there is a certain level of responsibility that you need to carry on your shoulders as a team that wants to do this.
Ramon, you want to score?
All right, it's going to be round one of Murder Inc. versus SOAS.
So we have Murder Inc. versus SOAS. SOAS on the right, Murder Inc. on the left. We got Gunner right here moving upfield, cleaning things up. We got Murder Inc. here versus SOAS. SOAS on the right, Murder Inc. on the left. Speaking of paintball, it'll let you know a couple of these guys back here on Murder Inc. do play paintball as well. They play both sports. So there is no going back to, there's only going back and forth from, you know? Obviously, if you're here watching too, you're here to watch SpeedQB. If not, I think you're a little confused. Nice push by SOAS. You know, I originally thought that Murder Inc. was doing a really good job defensively, but SOAS able to pick off the heavy guns, leaving a sole player. SOAS seeing the opportunity to run up the field and clear things out. But it's all good, you know. I like seeing the audience from other parts of the sport. Everything is everything, you know. Thank you for viewing.
Just a reminder, KWA is hosting the shooting range today over behind us. If you visit today's event,
Shouts out to KWA for sponsoring this event. We have a live shooting range out in the other part of the field where players are able to try their new line of guns. I believe they have a T6 out there.
Versus SOAS, barrels to the wall, referees thumbs up.
So SYG Lefty in the house.
Live on the board.
Gunny Gunner and the Snake right here. Ooh, playing it a little bit loose there. It'd been nice to be tucked in a little bit, not expose himself like that. Nice shot. You got Shannon here from SOAS. Making a nice move, you know, instead of running around, playing it tight, giving him something to worry about, and time runs out.
We have a penalty, no call.
Oh.
SOAS, yellow.
A penalty on SOAS, so they forfeit that round.
Go ahead, switch sides, we're going to round 3. Scores 1-1.
Telling you guys, it's just not worth it sometimes. When your team is out there playing hard, up on numbers, and then you risk it like that, and just give away a round.
Alright, this is going to be round 3 of the Red Rum versus SOAS. Barrels to the wall. Referees thumbs up. Round 3 is live on the board.
We have a 4-on-4 game right now. Both teams losing one player.
That middle school is good.
Looks like SOAS has shifted over completely to the right side, stacked in the 50, 40, and 30. Ooh. The Dirty Wizard almost making that run. Not sure if there was any controversy in that call, but we'll see in a bit. The referees have not called anything, so it looks like that was pretty clean. All 3 SOAS members playing very close together, keeping things tight. SOAS with the flag. And they take that round.
SOAS takes round 3 and a set. We're going to move on to the next matchup.
SOAS winning that match.
And this matchup is Yeet versus Down South. Go ahead and make your way onto the field.
I think it's 4.
Which team is this on the left? I can't see. We have Down South versus Yeet Airsoft.
All right, round 1 is live on the horn.
Down South here on the right. Yeet Airsoft on the left. The pattern that I see from Down South is they have a really good understanding of how to play the snake, how to play these 50 bunkers. So they're probably one of the more aggressive advancing teams. Their players are pretty compact, which allows them to play these tight spaces very efficiently. And that's something you need to think about too in your roster, you know. Sometimes size does play a factor in where you should play people, and that's all part of strategy. Not to say that there aren't tall players that can play small. You know, I am one of those guys that, you know, I'm 6'1", but I can still play in a snake. I know how to play really small. So either way, you know, know the position you're playing and make sure you have the right people playing those positions. Super aggressive plays by these snake players. Like I said, Down South is a really good handle on doing that. Unless Yeet can find a way to lock down that snake side off the break, I don't see how they're gonna stop Down South from doing that over and over again. They need to have a couple guns up on that, on their back barriers. Either getting to that back corner as fast as they can, trying to shoot that lane, putting 2 guns in that lane, whatever they need to do to stop that from happening. Even if that means, you know, sending an equal amount of players to play that snake. These, you know, when you're playing out there, not only are you playing, you got to be observant of what's happening on the field, how these teams are playing with you. You have 1 round sometimes to study your opponent, basically, and you got to analyze that immediately in the huddle and make a decision based off of that. So same thing happened again. But the difference is Yeet was able to get 1 player in the snake, and we had a trade. No one is in clear. No one has a clear advantage right now in position in the snake. Down South does have 1 player at the tail end. Down South again, really good at playing these tight spots. Smooth movement. He reminds me of that one guy. Which team is it again? They were wearing red at the EU event. I'll remember. Yeah, that guy reminds me of him. TRG?
Red.
Yeah, red and black team.
Speed Reapers, let's go.
Speed Reapers. What's the other team? Shrimp. Trimm. Oh.
Trimm versus Speed Reapers?
Yes.
Speed Reapers, you have 30 seconds to get 1 players in.
Triggers?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Press the wall,
Yeah,
press the
yeah.
wall.
Playing with 2 guys.
Live on the horn.
Trimm.
I think.
Trimm takes round
Yeah,
one.
Trimm making easy work of only a squad of 3.
Let's go, guys. It's going to be round 2 of Trimm versus Speed Reapers.
So hopefully Speed Reapers can get their guys together. I'm not sure if they're just playing short all day. Team management, that's all I'm saying.
Barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. Referees, thumbs up when you're ready. Round 2 is live on the board.
Easy work for Trimm.
All right, Trimm takes round 2 of the set. We move on to the next match. It's going to be One Night Stand versus LTD2.
Next up we have LTD2 versus One Night Stand. This stream will be running until 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
One Night Stand. You have 30 seconds to get players onto the field.
And here comes One Night Stand. They're playing short by 1, yeah. So 4 on 5. LTD has the advantage here, having a full 5.
Round 1 is live in the morning.
LTD in great position here. It looks like there might be only 1 player left. See how this unfolds. Looks like it might be full 4 on 1 or 4 on 2. So it's like, it looked like Figgy wasn't sure where the last guy was, and he ran into him in the back middle.
Round 1, switch sides for round 2.
Pull my arm.
All right, players,
Pull my arm.
to the wall. Round 2 is live on the horn.
Okay. LTD losing 1.
Keep it free and keep it close to you. So
Oh, I'm okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. LTD2? Oh, I thought this was Figgy the whole time. That's not, okay, so that's not Figgy. This is LTD2. Ooh. Nice distraction created by the snake player. You know, that back player right there behind this barrier was so fixated on him that the rest of the team was able to use the other angles to advance and close up shop.
We're going to move on to the next matchup. It's going to be
LTD taking that match. One night stand playing back-to-back games. One night stand versus Speed Reapers coming right up.
The matchup is One Night Stand versus Speed Reapers.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody watching at home? Waiting for the next games to start. So get in the comments. Feel free to ask me any questions during the stream. When there's like some downtime, I'll do my best to field those questions. Or just say what's up to your favorite players out here, your team. I'm sure you're gonna watch it later. Just show support for your, for your brothers. Whether you're watching from LA, Europe, Japan, anywhere in the world, we're all part of one big community. So, support each other. Yes, SYG will be playing in the exhibition matches, not in the tournament. So we'll be playing, I believe there's 2 days set aside at the DreamHack event.
All right, One Night Stand takes round one. Switch sides.
I've never personally shot a gold match, but they shoot just as good as any other TM gun, especially once you start upgrading them. So the quality of the build is exactly the same out of the box. So I'd say it's pretty reliable. Out of the box, TM high kappas are usually pretty rock solid. There might have been a penalty.
One Night Stand takes round two.
Oh, what?
We're going to move on to the next matchup. It's LTD2 versus 1S1K. Go ahead and make your way onto the field.
Here in the States, we don't really go by joules. It's this field's rules is 350 feet per second, chronographed using a .20 BB.
Let's go, Rob. LTD2, you have 30 seconds to make your way onto the field.
Thank you, Mikhail, for translating that. To be honest, in all my time playing Airsoft, I've never had I've probably had a chrono under joules like one time. LTD with their famed huddle. What they're saying is ROA, regulators of Airsoft, for those of you who are running back home. know, doubling up on behind a barrier is very smart play. But I encourage the teams in practice, you guys should practice playing. If you're gonna double up in one spot, you gotta play as tight as possible. Imagine if there was somebody in the snake, well, there is somebody in the snake right now. If he's able to advance a few legs up, you know, he has a clear shot at the legs and feet of two people. And we might see that in both here. Let's see what happens if we can get that angle. LTD needs to make a better job of communicating what they see on the field right now. It'll work a lot to their advantage if this snake player, there he goes. Now he sees it. I don't know if he saw both players there, but if he's able to bump up past this leg right here, and he should be able to, having a support player in the snake with him, he should be able to take both of them out right here. Ooh. So what's happening here is they're creating a pinch. Those two players in that barrier are getting pinched out right now. Nice trade. Worked out in LTD's favor. A lot of unnecessary deaths there, but still works out for LTD because they're up on numbers. Good luck to you guys, Pulse. I hope to see you guys here soon.
All right, LTD 2 takes round 1. Switch sides for round 2.
In terms of AARP as a team, I haven't seen them play enough to make an assessment. I do know a few of the original members. They're relatively new. You know, they have not played a SpeedQB event prior to this season, so I think it's good that they've been out here consistently. Their roster is kind of inconsistent. I think they're in the process of figuring out what that roster will look like for the tournament coming up in November. I mean, comparing a high kappa versus a DSG, you can't really compare the two things. It really boils down to what your play style is. You know, if you're more of a accuracy by volume type guy, the DSG is probably your best bet. That's not to say that you cannot be accurate with the DSG, but nothing beats the compact, how compact you can play with a pistol. So both platforms have their ups and downs and their plus and minuses. I like how that LTD snake player, I believe is Joey Soto, every time he gets in, immediately, rather than looking down the tape side, he looks inside, towards the inside of the field. That's where a snake player's bread and butter should be. When they get in the snake, they gotta look in. A lot of people are gonna be looking down the field, maybe their tunnel visions, and your job in the snake is to catch people off guard. You know, a lot of people think that you're supposed to get in the snake and battle with the back corner player. I disagree with that. The snake player is to cause trouble, bring eyes, create chaos, catch people off guard. Nice trade there.
So teams, get to your wall, get to your wall. This is going to be round 3. LTD 2 versus 1S1K.
1S1K versus LTD2 about to get underway.
Round 3 is live.
LTD2 being the younger generation of the LTD squad. They've all been playing under the tutelage of the older OG players. What I enjoy seeing is that they're creating a lot of parallels in the spots they play. So there's always one guy on LTD2 that reminds me of someone from LTD1. So it's great to have that, to build that legacy. You know, SYG, we've tried to do the same thing. And it's an interesting thing when you see an older team try to raise up a second generation, you know? And I think in an older, not older, but a more experienced culture such as LA, you're gonna have multiple generations of teams forming, you know, and when they've been playing for 4, 5, 6 years as a team, things do change, and the challenge is that you got to make those adjustments. You gotta find new players to fill the roster, and find those players that fit the play style of your team. You know, you gotta make sure those players are coachable. You know, that they fit within the dynamic of how your team plays. You know, just because someone's good doesn't necessarily always mean that it fits into your team dynamic. So that's a really big challenge coming from the perspective of a coach and as a manager of a team. Next time you see Roy, can you ask him for the battery pack? Because I don't know if the gimbal, do you have it? Nice shot. I'm telling you guys, this is a game of inches, you know? You think sometimes you're behind cover, you think you're safe, but you gotta be mindful of your gear, how much of your back is sticking out of the barrier. Basically, you know, you might be exposed when you think you're not, so in practice, you gotta tighten those things up. It's a game of inches. You give a team an inch, they will take a whole mile. One of the someone in Denmark was asking me this is never going to be in Denmark. They're not allowed to do that. Hungary also? Or yeah. I got Bert from SpeedQB EU here. Just ask him what the scene looks like in those countries, and it looks like there are definitely teams. Sorry about my gimbal, guys. Denmark and Hungary, you know, we're working on it, you know, we're trying to bring this everywhere, so shout out to all the teams out in Hungary and Denmark.
One Danish team is going to compete at the DreamHack.
Oh, okay.
One team from Denmark is going to compete at DreamHack.
Oh, okay. I believe there is one team from Denmark competing in the DreamHack event at Rotterdam in October, so. So yeah, there's your answer. Unrated is going to be playing at the DreamHack event in Rotterdam, Netherlands.
All right, down south takes round 1. Switch sides.
It's the weekend of October. I believe it's the 18th, 19th, and 20th.
All right, barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. It's going to be be round 2 of Down South versus Trimm. Game is live on the horn.
You know, the reason why your gun might be double firing is you might have some grease on one of your sensors. I'm not sure what MOSFET you're running or if you're running one at all, but seems like when guns double cycle, one of the culprits is having one of the sensors obscured by some grease or something, so it could be causing some kind of issue. So we got Trimm versus Down South. You know, you can always tell a lot about a team's leadership when they're able to collect themselves in a huddle and devise a quick strategy before the whistle goes off. You know, that shows you the difference between an experienced team versus one that, you know, lacks experience, doesn't know how to, you know, get through the pressure of competition. You know, there's many levels to this sport at this point. It's not just your gunfighting skills. It's not just, you know, your ability to play by yourself. It's teamwork. It's athleticism. You know, sometimes you might have a game where you're playing back to back in the schedule. You need to be able to have that cardio to be able to do that. You know, and I think what we're seeing is, you know, the teams are getting in the States, anyways. You know, you're gonna have some younger teams, fresher legs, faster players.
All right, this is going to be round 3 of Down South versus Trimm. Round is live on the horn.
Trimm is in a good spot defensively. We got players stacked here, here, and here. And we have Down South occupying these two stand-ups in the back left corner here. What's up, son? All right, 4 on 3. Oh, actually, sorry, 3 on 3.
Down South takes round 3 and a set. Just a reminder to all the team spectators, if you offer any advantage to the team that's playing, I will send you and your entire team home.
I'm always there with visuals.
Once again, if you are watching the game, you are strictly watching the game. If you're not pointing or offering any help to any of the teams playing, I will send you and your entire team home. Anybody watching? Alright, this match is going to be SOAS versus Yeet. Go ahead and make your way onto the field. This is SOAS versus Yeet.
Hey, one of our players, he's a sub, like he's not here right now. We can't play him as a backstrap. Is it fine if he plays as a no-band thing, or? Yeah, just after this, send him to the front to be on. Okay. Up. Thank you. Never mind, we got it.
Which one of these is?
What is this?
SOAS versus Yeet.
Yeet, you have 30 seconds to make your way onto the field.
So, remote, AR Revolution is under We're 20 players out. Basically following. Whether or not they're working with other teams, I don't know.
You got what you got. Barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall.
SOAS huddling up real quick to devise a little strategy.
You're giving them time. Barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. It's going to be round one of SOAS versus Yeet. Game is live on horn.
Yeet Airsoft on the right, SOAS on the left. Oh, I'm sorry. I think Yeet's on the left. SOAS on the right. Yeah, SOS. One SOAS player eliminated, making it a 5-on-4 game. Yeet Airsoft advantage. Caught him reloading right there in the snake. Gotta work on those reloads, boys. Yeah, that's another thing, you know, I see a lot of players just taking their time reloading their guns. There's not that much time for that, you know. Developing a very fast reload, whether you're, you know, using a pistol or using a rifle platform. You know, if you're using an AR-9 style gun, you know, you gotta learn how to reload a little bit different from using an M4 mag, you know. Referee stopping to ensure that the barrier placement is correct, that it's not out of alignment, that it doesn't change up the angles.
You get a chance to check out the stuff that
All right, it's going to be round 2 of SOAS versus Yeet. Barrels to the wall. Thumbs up. The round is live on the horn.
Wow. Looks like he might have caught them all looking the other way. So excited that they killed each other. Got a little bit of friendly fire there on the sweep.
Yeet takes round 2. Switch sides for round
So yeah, you know, sometimes the celebration is best reserved for the end of the game. You know, make sure your business is done first before you celebrate.
but is that
All right, guys, barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. Round 3 of SOAS.
Just want to thank all of you for joining us for this live stream of the September SpeedQB Los Angeles event. Got a little bit of technical issues here on SOAS's
You
side.
got 10 seconds. Barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. Round 3 for the set is live on the horn.
The BB weight limit here is 0.25. Guns are chronoed with a 0.20. Interesting twist here. The field is completely flipped over on its side. FPS means feet per second. Sorry for you guys. I know some of you guys go by joules. We chronograph based on feet per second here. There are some fields that are outdoor that use joules to chrono. So I think they do use heavier weight BBs outdoor. But we are limited to using 0.25. This is just to ensure safety. You know, we're not out here trying to hurt each other. So.
The next matchup is AR Revolution versus Murder Inc. But
You know, some of you guys might not remember a time where SpeedQB was played on full auto, you know, and due to the fact that some of these events were private, we were out there playing with 0.28, 0.30 BBs, and nobody was complaining about it. Everybody loved it. But, you know, that was a different time in our sport. Things do change, but just in case some of you out there were not up on game in the early days, those early days were crazy. They were wild. Everybody's running full auto. This is even before there was a rate of fire cap, so we were out there, you know, from anywhere from 40 to 65 rounds a second playing SpeedQB full auto. But that was fun while it lasted, you know, and we're just making the moves that we need to make this a very sportsmanlike event. And who knows, though, you know, just for fun, we might bring it back. You know, while we are seeing a fair share of penalties, I will say that compared to the last few events, there are far less penalties being called. I hope this is because the teams understand that there are a lot of eyes on them, a lot of refs watching them, and it's deterring people from, you know, maybe being a little bit dishonest about calling their hits late. Now people are very careful because if you do that, you know, you do forfeit the round. Mysterious Milson Man and the Snake here pushing up.
Captive takes round 1, switch sides for round 2.
But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in these live streams, because you know I get a little bored being from the same vantage point all the time. I might go switch it up and stand behind there sometimes, or stand on the other side of the field, up on the ref tower. This does give me the best view of the field overall. I'm able to. A little bit.
You're not sweating that hard as the last time.
No. That kind of depends on the field rules here. I think a lot of the fields here do not allow the use of BBs above a .25. It's simply it's the rules of the field, and we adhere by their safety rules. I think it'd be interesting to get the sport to a place where, you know, BB weights won't matter that much. There won't be any complaining about it. Just gives people a better, accurate shot. I need to take a restroom break.
Yeah.
If it turns off,
yeah,
you might just have to hold it by hand.
Yeah. Okay. No worry.
All right, it's gonna be round 2 of Captive versus Team Official. Across the wall, across the wall. Round is live on the horn. Alright guys, the score is 1-1. Winner of this round wins this set. This is round 3 of Captive versus Team Official. The game is live on the horn. versus AARP. Go ahead and make your way onto the field.
Marty, can you take over? Keeping score. Basically, it's pretty self-explanatory. The guy Sub is not there on this moment. I'm just taking over. He's coming back. There he is. SYG is now. At the moment when you're here.
Turned off.
Just at the moment when you're here.
What's up, guys? I'm back. And SYG over here on the right.
This is round one of SYG versus AARP.
And AARP on the left.
Game is live on home.
You always know it's going to be a tough time when lefty is in the 50, playing very aggressively, not giving any breathing room, getting past that flag, moving into the opposite side of the, on the enemy side. Basically, he's got a clear shot at that angle right now, if he takes a look. Lefty, of course, in prime position to secure that flag. Probably one of the most aggressive flag players you've ever seen. He brings a level of intensity that's usually unmatched. So for those of you who are bloodthirsty to see some flag action, see some center X action, that's your man right there. So again, we have SYG on the left side here versus AARP on the right. SYG winning the first round, making it 1-0, 1-0 SYG advantage.
Cross the wall, bounce the wall. Game is live on the horse.
SYG losing one player, making it a 4-5 game. Currently a 4-on-3 game. SYG advantage. Sosa in the tail of the snake. A little over aggressive there on lefty's part. SYG doing a good job playing defensively, not really making any unnecessary moves. Sosa really using that cover, using that aim. You know, making a good read of the field, knowing exactly what path to take out that back right player, that back left player, knowing that back left player was probably trying to secure the tape, not looking inside in the field, which is why, you know, Sosa went in from the inside lane. Clear path for him with very little resistance. Yes, that was Sosa, lefty Demo, and 2 of our prospects.
All right, it's gonna be round 1 of Red Rum versus Mercs. Barrels to the wall. Game is live.
We're almost about 2 hours into the stream. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. It gets a little lonely up here sometimes, so it's good to have people to talk to. Make sure those comments are lit, you know, show support for your teams. Ask me any questions you can. I'll try my best to answer them. Yeah, you know, for the new teams out there, listen, you know, I've been there from the very beginnings of what the sport has become, and I was there when we had to, you know, start building up a team, and I've seen new teams form up, and it's just really interesting to see, like, how it works out over the course of a season or 2. You know, you might be able to get a team together for 1 season, but how much longevity does your team have? You know, very early on, if you know you have a group of players and there always needs to be some type of leadership involved. There needs to be 1 or 2 guys that are kind of calling the shots to make sure that everybody is synced up and that everybody's on the same page. Everybody shows up to practice at the same time, you know, and, you know, I understand sometimes that you're playing with your friends and, you know, you let things slide, but at the end of the day, you know, this sport is getting to a higher level, and what that means is it takes a higher level of management and maturity to make sure that your team survives past, you know, 1 season. And I think we're starting to see that now with some of the newer scenes forming up in Europe, for example. You know, there are so many teams out there, and the growth is so rapid. It'd be interesting to see how many of those teams are still around a couple seasons from now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is don't think about the short term. You know, think about the long term lifespan of your team. I just had some. That's probably the biggest advice I can give to new teams out there is that, look, I know it's tough, you know, and I know it can be frustrating to make sure that everybody shows up to practice, shows up to play. Everybody's got, you know, hobbies outside of this sport, and you know, it just boils down to commitment and working hard, you know, and hopefully in the end it pays off.
Alright, this is round 2 of Red Rum versus Mercs. Barrels to the wall. Game is live on the wall.
Team killer. Very nice move.
I think right now it's early.
Taking a lot there. TNG is taking.
Mercs takes round 2 in the set. We're gonna move on to the next match.
Here's my general rule of thumb for playing the snake. Number one, you gotta think about entry, right? How do you get into the snake? Sorry, I don't have anything else to point with other than my finger. But let's say you're starting from here, right? You're the snake player, you're starting here. You gotta assess, and fields are gonna be different no matter where you play. What pieces of cover do you have that cover you on the way to a run? The most obvious way is that you would think that you're just gonna run here, cut low here, because you have a piece of cover here, and dive in. But the easiest, safest way would be to run straight behind this piece of cover, knowing that this is a huge shield, and then cutting inside. So that's entry, right? You gotta be mindful of how big of a target you are when you're running too. Try to play as small as possible. Once you get in, don't panic. Don't feel like you need to get out there with your gun blazing. Get in there, take a breath, you know, look inside. The tendency is for players to get in the snake and immediately peek out left. See, what he did is that he's posting up. He's not giving them a look. So as far as I know, they probably don't even know he's there. But what I would do is I would look across field. Is there a player here? Is there anybody here I can shoot at? Is there anybody here? That's the job of a snake player. The job of a snake player is not to do the job of the back player and shoot down the tape. His job is to get into his spot, look inside at anybody that might be caught off guard. Okay, that's just in the beginning of the game. As you get into the first 45 seconds, the first minute of the game, the snake player has to assess, how long can I play here until the other team knows I'm there and you get pinned down. Let's say you get in that position and you are pinned down. You gotta work with your back player to get an opening, to get some breathing space so that you can change your position, change your angle. If this player was known to be by the other team to be there, if he makes a quick bump, moves up in here, and the team still thinks that he's here, guess what? This guy in the X might not even know it's a quick shot, a little pop, a little jump shot, shoot him in the pack. So yeah, snake player needs to always be mindful of his angles. Needs to be, they cannot always rely on vocals. They gotta rely on what you see. Even your vision's blocked sometimes, so you need another set of eyes. Your back player is your set of eyes when you're playing low and tight in the snake. Secondly, your gun skills, use of cover, you need to be very tight. You can't show too much of your body. Your timing has to be unpredictable, you know? I brought it before in the past that if you're snap shooting out of cover and you're popping out each time with a predictable, consistent rhythm, a lot of good players have the ability to time you. And I just took a shot to my phone, but it's all good. A couple seasons ago, it was consistently, but now people switched it up. They actually don't play it anymore. No, but you might see it happen too in Europe soon too. Watch, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What the X?
Go for the flag. Go for the points. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll tell you outside.
All right, this is going to be round 2 of Baptive versus Legacy. Girls on the wall, thumbs up when you're ready.
Captive versus Legacy, round 2.
Round is live on 1.
You know, I'm not too crazy about players that lie on their back, posting up. It's a very dangerous position to be playing in when you have people in the snake. Your whole body's pretty much exposed. If you do that, you have to make quick bumps just like this player did right now. But I'm also thinking that he's still way too open. This captive player gets a look at him. His mag wasn't feeding? Yeah. So what happened there was that shot through the crack, his mag was not feeding. So no BBs hit that player at the center X. And that happens sometimes, you know, there are gun malfunctions. I know it looks fishy, but there's always a reason.
Baptive takes round 2 and goes to round 3 suicide.
Sure. I'll just, yeah. Thank you. Thanks to the 58 viewers that have been rocking with me since we started here earlier this morning.
All right, barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. Round 3 of Baptive versus Legacy is live on the horn.
Risky move. It would have been nice to see that pay off, sending 2 guys to snake off the break. You know, I've been wanting to see more teams do that. Even though I have not been competing this season, I have been trying to push the limits of these fields, and when I do practice, I've been seeing how much I can get away with. Based on what I've been doing in practice, I know there's a lot of stuff that these teams are not doing out there. You know, speed plays a big part in this game. And I think what needs to happen is a lot of these teams they probably need to start training to build up some more running speed. You know, the more athletic teams are probably gonna have more success in the future. As you can see, these fields, you know, the barriers, they're gonna get smaller and smaller. They're gonna get harder to play. You know, we started this, you know, by repurposing barriers found at the field already, and those were huge, you know, and you know, since we started building proprietary fields, custom fields, those barrier sizes are getting trimmed down, and we're doing it intentionally so that the fields are not as easy to play. And if you're not in prime shape, you know, you might end up being phased out. Like, this is the nature of the sport. That's the evolution of the sport. You know, we've gone from game to sport. So there's a certain level of athleticism that's going to be required in the near future.
Legacy winning round 3 of 7. We move on to the next matchup. It's going to be Bad Batch versus LTD1.
LTD1 versus Bad Batch coming up next. So you know how many teams are here today? Ah, my neck. It's okay.
Hey, you know how many teams are here? How many teams are here today? 20 teams.
So I just found out we have a total of 20 teams here today playing at the September Los Angeles SpeedQB event. For those of you who are not up to speed on the scheduling of the Los Angeles events, this is the second to last event, meaning there is one more event in October 27th, and then we will have the national championships 1 week later here at N1, November 3rd. So after this event, the next time you'll hear my voice will be in the Netherlands at Rotterdam. We'll be at DreamHack, one of the largest gaming events in the world. We're trying to bridge that gap between, you know, video games and real life first-person shooter experience. You know, I think the European players got a little bit of a taste when me and Demo were over there. You know, we were playing alongside some of the European teams in exhibition matches, and you know, my goal out there was to show them how we get down in the United States. You know, I played a challenging set of games, mixed results, but I think I gave him a little taste of how we play out in LA. The winner of the European tournament will be flying to Los Angeles in November to play in a national tournament here in Los Angeles as well. So good luck to all the European teams playing not only at the DreamHack event, but at all the European SpeedQB events, the NABV SpeedQB events in the Netherlands. This sport is growing rapidly in all parts of the world. You know, we've been in contact with, I mean, just a few months ago, me, Demo, and Russo were in Toronto. Canada is has a huge scene, and within the last few months, I'll tell you guys, there's been a lot happening, and North America, meaning United States and Canada combined, that's going to be a huge thing, you know, and we're really close to each other. So I expect to see a lot of cross travel, you know, a lot of North American teams traveling from, you know, United States up north to Canada. You know, SYG is going to be all around the world. We're all going to be all around the United States. So I think we will see a lot of European and American teams meeting up very soon.
Fellas, don't forget, you can win your chance to have dinner with Russian by shooting the KWA challenge and winning.
Russian pimping himself out with the shooting competition.
Just want to shout out to all the
All right,
European
round
teams there.
2 of LTD versus Bad Batch. Live on board.
Shout out to all the European teams. We got Bert in the house. Official, yeah, I really want to get out to Texas. We actually have a few friends out there as well that are not connected to the Airsoft world. Out in Dallas, I know Houston's hot right now. So yeah, I know there's a lot of states in America that we have not been to, and I believe me, I've been talking to you guys. I know what's up. We got to link with your fields to organize and make that happen. Great communication by LTD, again, between Matt Miyashiro and Figgy here in the Snake. Got Rob at the mountains. congratulations to your undefeated status. The way I see it, though, sometimes you gotta learn to lose in order to learn how to win even better. So, guard that undefeated streak, but don't get discouraged when that goes away. That's not everything, just think about other sports, The one sport where being undefeated really weighs heavy right now is probably boxing, and I think it's a little bit unfair that type of status is so important, I think it's very important for athletes to learn how to lose and bounce back from that. Personally, SYG has been in every spot you can be. We've had our ups and downs. We've lost important games. We've won important games. We've had games where things didn't go our way. But at the end of the day, what really matters, What really matters is how you bounce back from those losses. That's what defines you as a team. That's what builds a champion.
Running out of time.
And not only winning and losing, but winning and losing gracefully and in a humble fashion. And understanding that you don't lose because you're not good. You don't win because you're the best. You win because you play as a team. You lose because you also lose as a team. So that's the key, is teamwork. That's what this sport is based around. Before all this started, we're just running around by ourselves, aimlessly, just playing for ourselves. But this is a team sport, and if you don't learn how to play as a team, you're better off just going back, playing a public game, and But in order to play this sport, it takes another level of dedication, and there are levels to this for sure.
I'll go down.
He's coming down.
All right, Baptive takes round one. Which side's the round two?
I have been observing Cap over the course of this season. Wait, that's your gun? Oh, dope. We got Jaden out here using Rusa's gun. Sorry, Rusa totally distracted me from what I was saying, and I don't remember. What's up, Marty? What were you trying to say earlier? Oh. HPA 50 round mags is on a high kappa. I mean,
All right, this is gonna be round two of Mercs versus.
I don't think there's any disadvantage or any, obviously no clear advantage.
Round is live.
Using M4 mag adapters are good. The way I see it is, if you're out here playing against rifle players and they're out here with 160, 190 round mid caps, you need to be able to carry the same amount of firepower. Some risks are just not worth taking. Pretty interesting how that back player played that corner. Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation, you know, because like who knows where airsoft technology will go in the next few years, you know. I have an idea of where it might go, but I'm not gonna say that out loud right now. As you know, I always got some stuff up my sleeves. For all the SpeedQB heads out there, just know that we got a lot of exciting products coming your way that I'm really proud about. Some of you might already know what they are. I know some of you have gotten a sneak peek at some of these things. I'm excited. For the very first time, we're gonna see a lot of airsoft gear, you know, made specifically for airsofters. You know, I know it sounds silly because, you know, airsoft gear is pretty much the same as real steel stuff, right? But that real steel stuff, it's not made for us. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. It's players supporting players. You know, people that play the sport making stuff for the players that play this sport. We know what they need, and we're excited to share that. And we're excited for all the people sharing ideas with us too. So you know, anytime you guys think something's cool, just hit me up. You know, hit me up on Instagram at syg.sapo45. I like to talk tech, man. So let me know what's up. For those of you who are in LA and you want to come down and win a foot massage from CQB Russian, come down to the KWA shooting gallery. Come on down to Project M1. You know, even if you gotta walk, don't worry about it. You know, you got a foot massage waiting for you. Is he really giving away a foot massage? Is that a real thing? I get those for free from him, so it's all good.
Give us a second, players.
You guys know what time it is? Okay, cool. So it sounds like we're winding down to the last couple sets of games. Just want to thank everybody for sticking with me throughout this live stream. You know, earlier in the day I got like 5 people up here with me, but then as the end of the day goes by, we only got like 2. Tom from KWA, USA Airsoft.
Barrels to the wall, referees thumbs up when you're ready. Round 1 is live on home.
You know, to me, it's always very interesting to see how a team strategizes against a very well-seasoned former champion team in LTD. You know, it seemed like for a while in the last couple of events, a few teams kind of found the blueprint to cut down LTD. But based on this event, what I'm seeing is that LTD has been making adjustments to their strategy. I see a little bit of a mixture of aggression, whereas before my observations led me to think that, you know, they played a little more of a defensive game. But I can see that changing a little bit. So we got LTD versus 1S1K. A lot of one balls coming from Figgy from the Snake. Well placed shot by Figgy there. Looks like he like scored at least 3 consecutive one-ball kills. You know, we did not see 1S1K at some of the previous events. Looks like they have a little bit of tightening up to do. Frank, I think Frank's back, and it looks like they're getting back in the swing of things. Hopefully they can get their stuff together in practice at the next event leading up to the national. What the hell? A little bit of a decoy setup here, leaving his light there flashing. Interesting tactic. Looks like he had something break off his gun. Even in a gun malfunction, you gotta keep a level head, you know? You still gotta... I saw players walking off earlier because they weren't running out of ammo. Why? It's another set of eyes, you know? Figgy doing a really good job here, making use of his body. You know, he knows that his gun's down. Kind of pushing backwards in the snake to draw this player forward as bait, knowing that he has support from his back players. Looks like it's 3-2, 1S1K advantage. Only one live gun on the LTD side due to a gun malfunction. Something that I do in practice. Some of you might have seen me do this, but I will go out there and play intentionally without a gun and just make use of myself as a set of eyes. So that's one tip I can give you guys, you know. It's something we used to do in paintball practice where you would actually play without a gun, no ability to fire back, so you rely only on movement and your eyes. LTD doing a good job of holding back the offense of 1S1K simply with a flashlight and one rifle, 2 sets of eyes. Very creative. Jonathan, we got any more games after this one? I think he took his weapon-mounted light off and just placed it on the floor right here, shining this way. To create a reflection off the floor, anybody back there would probably think there's somebody shooting down snakes, so that was real smart. Thanks.
Here we go, barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. Game is live on the one. 1K takes round 3 as a set.
Looks like LTD got hit with a penalty there, forfeiting that round. 1S1K actually takes that match based on penalties. I believe it was a no call on LTD's part. So yeah, I'm telling you guys, man, sometimes it's just not worth it.
All right, teams, it's going to be ARP versus ARP versus Red Rum. Girls to the wall, girls to the wall.
Got Red Rum here on the right, AARP here on the left.
Round 1 is live on the horn.
Round 1 about to get underway. And that's why you don't stand with your back to the barrier like that, like it's a spy movie.
Switch sides for round 2, switch sides for round 2.
Oh, for sure. All right, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have Roy hit you up for sure. Oh, yeah. I've seen you. Your dad was here last time, right? Yeah.
All right, teams, girls to the wall, girls to the wall.
Yeah, they weren't able to make it today because they couldn't get enough members of their team out here today. But if you check the rankings, they are in good standing. So, yeah, man, you got to get creative out there, you know.
AARP versus Red Rum. Game is live on the horn.
We've had people throw magazines to simulate movement into the barriers, a whole bunch of fakes, you know. It's all about misdirection, too. You want people to think that you're there when you're not, you know. It's hit and not get hit. Got SoCal Tactical Airsoft here. Check them out on YouTube, SoCal Tactical Airsoft. I have not been playing with those pants. I've actually completely stopped wearing paintball pants. I still have them though, but they just got too, they got a little bit too baggy, and I get it. We're out here, we wear paintball masks because that's what's good out there. But in my opinion, there are and they're going to be much better options in the future. And it just goes back to what I'm saying about using stuff that's made for the sport of airsoft. To me, that's like, buying a baseball glove and going to play basketball. That's how it is to me now. So, my dream is that, maybe within the near future, we could be head to toe in gear made specifically for people who play SpeedQB. What's interesting is that in between rounds, I heard that player tell his teammate, we gotta play the snake, gotta play the snake. Okay, so like I said before, there's always one guy that recognizes what the team needs to do. And it's up to that, sometimes it's up to that one guy to get everybody on the same page and understand what the goal is. If everybody's on the same page, you can execute.
We'll move on to the next match. It's going to be Team Official versus SYG. Go ahead.
Next up, we got Team Official over here on the white versus SYG. Got Lefty, Demo, Marty.
Got it, good, I got it. Run both.
All right, guys, barrels to the wall, barrels to the wall. Round one is live on the horn.
Telling you, man, do not mess with Lefty in the X. I think he was responsible for at least 2 of the kills in this game on SYG side. It makes perfect sense. Let me explain why. What it does is it creates chaos. It creates urgency. It makes the other team think that there's a lot happening at the X. Just because you make it in the X sometimes you don't always want to take it because they're watching for it. And I think what's happening, and I think there's a disconnect between some of the viewers back home, is that these players are watching that X. If they see that red flag go away, they know someone's in the X. So a lot of these players, they get up in the X, they don't take possession of the flag right away. They only get in there, especially if they're seen, they just go in there and create chaos. Lefty is known to, use his speed to get an advantage, to get into that spot before anybody else can, and just make everybody look at him, make everybody shoot at him, so that the rest of the team can work. But sometimes you will see Lefty playing a more conservative, slow game, and that's just a change of the tempo. What that did was they kind of forced Oficial to come out a little bit stronger. You see that? SYG playing a bit of more of a defensive game, knowing that they're up on points. I wouldn't have called that a suicide play. He actually had the angle on that player just so that they happened to trade. A suicide play is like, when you know for a fact that you can die. There could have been a chance there that you could have survived, but it's a timing issue. What you just saw was just very deliberate technique there. He knew that he can get in the snake, bump up, keep his gun lined up, anticipating that not anticipating, he knew there was an opponent there. So he prepped himself. He knew as soon as he killed that guy in the snake that he could move forward into a better position.
All right, SYG takes round 2 and the set. We're gonna move on to
SYG wins that set 2-zip.
All right, this match is going to be Murder Inc. versus Captive. You can get your rolls. All right, press the wall. Round 1 is live on.
Yeah, Murder Inc. versus Captive. You know, I've been talking about this for like 2 or 3 events already. I'm not sure why anybody would make that move the way he made it. He practically gave away the game there by running wide when he could have just stopped short. Like I'm gonna say it over and over again.
All right, Captain, take
And hopefully that guy sees this later when he watches the live stream. When you're playing here and you know you got someone in the back middle, why would you take the lane where they have a shot? Why wouldn't you just come in here and come here? Let him look at you. In the meantime, bring another player up here from this side and then pinch the guy out from the center. Why do it by yourself when you have a teammate? And that's the difference in losing and winning. Like sometimes you're gonna lose, you're gonna give up that 5 points for nothing. You know, you're gonna give up that game for nothing. You were up 2 players on 1, yet somehow you lost the game by being greedy and not paying attention to the details towards the end of the game. You know, I think there's a lot of emphasis on the beginning of the game, but once things, you know, start to go towards the end of the game, there's like 1, 2 guys left. People just start going crazy and they start running out in the open for no reason. So I just hate seeing that. It's like a 1-on-2 situation here. Jaden from Captive.
This is going to be round 3 of Murdering versus Captive.
So to everybody watching, it looks like I'm running out of time here. So I just want to thank everybody for joining me, for joining us here for the September SpeedQB Los Angeles event here at Project M1 in California. You can catch these games later on YouTube. And stay tuned for the SpeedQB official channel where we're going to pick key matchups, which includes scoreboard and full display of points. I know some of you have already seen the episodes that we posted with key matchups on SpeedQB Official. That's SpeedQB Official on YouTube. And I'm gonna let you guys walk out with this game. Once again, I'm Sapo from SYG Airsoft, SpeedQB. See you guys next. Actually, I'll see you guys in the Netherlands in a few weeks. I'll be live streaming from Rotterdam at the DreamHack event in Rotterdam Ahoy. I'm very excited about that, and I look forward to it. So I'll see you guys then.
Takes round 3 of his set. We're going to move on to the next match. It's going to be AR Rev versus Yeet Airsoft. Go ahead and make way off to the field.